all the violence that took around Ajax matches, and there was not one single arrest. We need protection from these sorts of events, and I think that's enough's enough. We want to see this pass. We want the Green Brigade back at Celtic Park, and we want to move on from
Absolutely.
this.
I mean, like, how do you charge people with that? Seriously. I mean, you're ruining someone's fucking life if you sit there and that charge somehow sticks. It's bullshit, man. Over a fucking drawing.
And all you ask is the powers that be, the fucking corrupt bastards that fucking like make these fucking laws and fucking implement these fines, like just a bit of fucking equality, like a bit of the fucking tarring everybody with a fucking a similar brush. Like, you can't fucking give a fine for something and then not a fine for another thing. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's complete double standards. Like you say, man, it should be fucking.
But that seems like to be par for the fucking course anymore with, like, overreacting. And I made a comparison earlier in the week. Now, a lot of people, went to, oh, what are you talking about? It's like, whataboutery, da-da-da-da-da. But I was like, we had 900 fans banned, okay? But yet, we fucking had all that shit go on with the Sevco match at Ibrox. And we go through this whole big banning of 900 people because we're trying to guarantee a certificate of occupancy for Celtic Park. Yet their fans get away with all this other shit. They throw stuff at our fucking players. They do monkey chants, all kinds of just real ugly racist shit. And they don't, that lot don't seem to be even bothered about, like, what's going on. They don't give a fuck. And what's worse is, like, both of those clubs play in Glasgow, so don't the rules apply to them too for a certificate?
Exactly.
So it's like, how can you sit there and say that we should go so heavy-handed as to throw everybody the fuck out to appease a safety advisory board, but that other club could, we'll get to it when we get to it. Did they arrest the guy, the capo for the Union Bears, throwing batteries at Lee Griffiths and fucking Boyata? Did they arrest him? They know it's a fucking detail.
Did they fuck, man?
No, they didn't arrest him. They didn't do shit. Our players, Celtic is very quick to drop the hammer on our fucking supporters, but when their players are at risk, they don't say shit. That's my fucking problem with it. It's not whataboutery at all. It's about, Celtic said in their statement they finished their statement of why the fans would remain banned and said safety is not negotiable to them, and it's of the utmost importance. Well, really? Because you had no problem fucking hammering our fans, but you didn't say shit about our fucking players getting attacked. So what the fuck? How can you tell me safety is of the utmost importance when you didn't say shit about that?
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get me I'm saying about shit, anything about any the other stuff about Sevco cheating and all that bullshit. You didn't give a fuck. Safety mattered. Safety only mattered when we were going to get fined and Lowell's going to lose money out of his pocket. That's when it only mattered.
Yeah, well, as we said last week, the club do need to be more vocal. I think they need to protect the fans more. I think they need to be more outspoken and more bullish. They bend whenever UEFA pull the fucking chain. They're fucking running around with their hair on fire, trying to fucking bend over backwards because they're scared of some kind of banning order, or they're not going to get to take part in the fucking the new fucking proposals.
Some fucking league that's never going to fucking
exactly
happen.
Some fucking the new North Atlantic fucking Super League or whatever the fuck it is. It's like. It's we go back to this whole corporate football thing and the Champions League thing. I've criticised the Champions League in the past, and then UEFA are full of shit. Michel Platini, and then you got that fucking Seb Blatter at FIFA, and the whole thing. We've got the fucking scandals with the Russian World Cup, and then there's all this bullshit going on at Qatar and stuff, and it's just like the whole game is run by fucking. There's so much money changing hands. It's part of the game, and. Well, a club like us, we don't have the financial weight, and we're not in there with the big boys because our league is considered to be a substandard league. Then we are. I kind of feel sorry for the club in a way because they've got one hand tied behind their back, but at the same time, Celtic is, it would be nothing without the support. I mean, you start letting the support get fingered by these authorities and start coming down heavily on them, it's not good. It's really not. We are always stronger as a club when we're unified, and that's what Brendan Rodgers did for us this year. He brought everything together, and we need to keep that going, man. So it's my hope that we'll once we get past these next few weeks, the Green Brigade will get back in place, and then we can start seeing those amazing tifos and displays going up on European nights, and that will all be forgotten about. But we need to move on past it. And I was just disappointed to see 12 arrests. I really, it's just like, come on, let's tidy this up. Let's tidy this shite up, and let's move together as one. We are so strong when we're together. We can do anything as a club. And that's how we need to operate going forward.
You know what I'm interested to see? I'm interested to see how UEFA responds to Legia Warsaw's banner tonight.
I saw that, man. Did you see that? Oof, that was some beautiful, man. Holy shit.
They had a banner. Now try to imagine it's their whole one end, and their ultras always do really over the top, big time kind of tifo. And we learned when we played them that a lot of them are also fascist, right-wing Nazis, but that's a whole nother story. But they had this big banner. In the background is the Polish flag, and on the numbers of it is 19. And it's honoring the anniversary of something that happened in World War II with Warsaw and everything. And it says in English, during the Warsaw Uprising, Germans killed 160,000 people, thousands of them were children. And the picture, the centerpiece of it, is a German officer with a Ruger 9mm.
Fucking hell.
At the head of a child, and he's got the little Polish resistance cap on, which is also kind of interesting again because a lot of their ultras are racist. They're not. They incorporate a lot of far right symbols in their scarves and everything else. And so for them to kind of rip Germans and stuff, but yet embrace them is kind of like really weird. But yeah, this is as political gets, man. I mean, you're talking about like,
you can't fucking compare the Green Brigade banner with that, man.
But even even the flares and all that, man. I mean, look, I'm sorry, but there's games going all over Europe, and there's about 500 flares at every other fucking game. There's guys climbing up fences and fucking madness going on, and half of these teams don't get half of. I mean, we do one game with 2 flares, nothing happens. The atmosphere's brilliant, nobody gets fucking hurt, and it's like fucking banned. Again, one banner of what looks like a paramilitary alien. If you want to know I know it's the Green Brigade. I'm not. It was like bad artwork. It looked like it'd be drawn by a 5-year-old, and I love the Green Brigade, but that artwork was pretty fucking shoddy. Sorry.
Fucking Kenny from South Park dressed up as a fucking troll.
But contrast that against 2 tiers, a 2-tier sized tifo with a Nazi officer with a gun at a child's head. And it does not get any more political than that. Man. So it's going to be interesting because I think they've had stand closures before to see if UEFA goes hard on them with that.
Yeah,
but you know what you can say. You know what I will say though is that I guarantee you, Legia's board and the people running the club there will give their fans a hell of a lot more support than Peter Lawwell and Ronnie Hawthorne gave the Celtic fans with one fucking banner.
Yeah, no doubt.
Put that in your
you're right about that.
No, I got no doubts, man.
They're not going to throw their fans under the bus the way Lawwell and Hawthorne did.
Yeah, as I said, it's got to get sorted out. The communication between the club and them has to improve because the Green Brigade have said that we're not changing the way we act, and it's only a matter of time before they do something again. So they need to talk to each other and try and work it out. And for me, the Green Brigade are at their best when they do. When they did that, a club like no other. And these just Brendan with the poker chips at the table and all that stuff. I love all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's fucking puts the hairs in the back of your neck when you see that at a big game. And that's where they're at their best. But they're going to do what they're going to do.
The hairs on the back of my neck stood up too when I saw all the Palestinian flags and everything else too.
Yeah,
because I know that they're standing up for people that don't really have a voice. So the Green Brigade using its position and the way a lot of the panty fucking wetters started crying about it when they came out with the flags, and then all of a sudden it became a big worldwide thing, and all of a sudden everybody that was
they got on the right side of social media. They had a lot of support for that throughout the world. You know what I mean? And it would have looked. That's why I think the bodies backed off of it. Just goes to show you how things work. You know, it's like once you get on the right side of social media, and the general consensus is it was good. They don't want to make themselves look bad, but this one was a no-brainer for them. You know, it was like, no, you can't do that stuff. Bang, you know, don't associate yourself with that sort of stuff. So it's, you know, as I say, as soon as you start getting into the political arena, it can go one way or the other. And on this occasion, that was. I still, as I said last week, it was too heavy from the club, and we need it sorted, but. Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to mention the 12 arrests because I was just like, fuck's sake, really? I thought this was fucking new. Now we've got the police involved and people are getting jailed, and you got a criminal record, not this fucking carry on, man. And it's just like, I
wonder who gave the cops the information of those 12 people. I wonder where they've got their addresses and all that stuff from.
Fuck knows, man.
Mine can wander, and I can probably guess, but what are you going to do? It would be disappointing if the club was giving out that kind of information to the cops.
Yeah. Well,
that'd be fucking terrible, man.
Yeah. You just don't want to think about that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, you wouldn't do that. You just wouldn't. Yeah, well, nah, don't know who it is. Sorry, you know, but someone's obviously.
Unless you're fucking Lee Wallace.
I don't know how it works at the club. You know, they get CTV and they've got someone who has to liaise with police. And I think if the police get involved, you know, by law, they have to provide information. Or I'm sure it's something like that. But yeah, God, it's horrible to think about that sort of stuff. But anyway, moving on. We're playing Hearts, and they have no man. Well, they don't have a manager. Ian Cathro he's now gone. Our favourite pundit, Chris Boyd, my favourite pundit, and he is officially a football writer, was correct about Cathro being pish. As much as I hate to admit it, because Chris Boyd's a fucking idiot. But so they've got a new manager in place, or a temporary manager in place. We're playing them Saturday. And,
does it not, to you two, does it not seem fucking daft, like, to sack a manager at this stage in the season? Like, why did they not do it at the end of last season? It just seems fucking ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Well, they did it because they got bumped from the Betfred Cup.
Yeah.
Was that just one result? Boom, you're out. What? Like, surely if you had doubts about him,
I think it was on the fans were going crazy about him. They've been upset about that for a while. Like.
It was Dunfermline that put him out, was it not?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I mean, it's like they're already like. I mean, you're talking about. Supposedly one of the up in the upper tier of Scottish football, and here's a club that can't even get it through the first round of the Betfred. So it's what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, I think.
But you're right. It was
been a question mark.
He probably should have been gone last year, but what are you going to do?
I get rid of him last year, or give him at least the first 6 games of the league this year. Obviously, no way defending him, but it just seems daft from the powers that be at Hearts to sack him after one fucking game at the start of the season.
Yeah, no, it was coming. That was on the cards. Anyway, I think we'll do pretty well. I don't see us having too many issues. I mean, for me, I'd like to see at least one of our new signings in there. I don't know who's going to be available up front. It looks like Griffiths got through that game unscathed, so it's safe to say that he's going to come back. Obviously Dembele's out till September. I'm disappointed because I don't think we've seen Dembele play regular matches again and again for a while. It would be nice to see him get a real proper run in that side, but Griffiths is a great player. I really like him, and I'm really hoping that he is playing on Saturday. I also would like to see what Kouassi's made of, and a young boy
Kundai
Benyu. Yes, I'd like to see Benyu. I was calling him Benny last week or whatever it was. I'd like to see Benyu, and I'd like to see Kouassi. I'd like to see Kouassi do at least a half, and I'd like to see Benyu come on and maybe just 15-20 minutes of what he can do. I'm
sure that fucking bastard Lafferty will get a a warm reception at Paradise as well. Any man, ideal me really fucking. I don't know if it's a tight game and then Griffiths nutmegs Lafferty and scores the winner in the last minute and does the fucking brewery right in his face. That'd be class.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
I fucking hate that bastard. Like,
he'll get a warm reception.
I think Lafferty's always been a punk, so fuck him.